What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be breaking down my 2023 full first round NFL mock draft. With the draft coming in 6 days, we will be going live. I'll probably be having a special guest on the show. Comment your guesses on who that could be on the comments. I do not have anything confirmed yet, but it is a definite possibility that we'll be having a good guest. Sorry. That we'll have a guest coming to be a guest with the mock draft, or not the mock draft, the actual NFL draft when it goes live. At I believe it's like 7 p.m. Like coverage starts at 7 p.m. I'm not sure if it starts until 8 p.m. But I'll probably be talking about the NFL draft. I might be a little bit late. I'm sorry, but I'll probably cover. I might be a little bit late, but we'll get into this video. We'll talk about that when I'm live. Hopefully on the draft. But for now, I'm just gonna talk about what my predictions are for where every player goes in this NFL draft or mock draft. First overall, I've got the Carolina Panthers selecting Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. He's a very good distributor of the football. That's his best skill. Escapes the pocket, evades pressure, and those are his best abilities. Stroud, I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be going number one. Just a couple weeks ago, if you would have asked me, but now I believe it's going to be Bryce Young after C.J. Stroud had a little bit of controversy we'll be talking about later on. Next up, the Houston Texans are selecting Will Anderson Jr. Look, they have a glaring need at quarterback. We all know that. I think that they're going to try to ride it out another year with their current team and Will Anderson. And then after that, I think they'll try to tank, honestly, and take a quarterback high next season. And I think that's probably what they're going to do. I don't know if it's the right decision, but I know I probably wouldn't do it. It's a risky move, but I probably wouldn't, but I think this is what's probably going to happen, and I think they're going to take Will Anderson Jr. at number 2 overall. Cardinals, at number 3, I have them taking Tyree Wilson. He's a physical freak. He's big, athletic, strong. He has all the traits. He's a great player. At number 4 overall, I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting quarterback C.J. Stroud. Look, he had one of the worst testing out of a test that is very good at predicting whether a quarterback is good or not. I think the Colts are going to take him. I think that his accuracy his release they're just really good. I think he has a good chance to be good. I'm not sure I could also see him being bad at the same time, because that test has been a very good indicator of who's going to be good or bad in the league. Number 5, I have the Seattle Seahawks taking defensive tackle Jalen Carter from Georgia. He had a very rough draft process. He had charges against him for speeding and what led to eventually killing somebody. He got out of that situation. And look, he's made a bit of a recovery lately. He had a horrible pro day, but after that, he's been impressing teams in their interviews. And so I think that he is going to find himself back into the way of the top 5. The Detroit Lions at number 6, I have them selecting Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon, because they just traded Jeff Okudah for a 5th-round pick. I don't think that was the right move. I think the Lions probably should have just kept him and then drafted like a defensive lineman. But maybe they thought, hey, the Seahawks are probably going to take Jalen Carter, and all the defensive linemen are going to go early. But maybe that's what they were thinking. So moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders, I have them selecting Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from Florida. Best physical attributes you've seen, I think, maybe even ever. strong arm, incredible runner, big, tall, athletic, as I said. He has accuracy problems, but I think he has the ability to be the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be, but I think he has a chance to. And that chance is just going to keep him high in the draft. The Falcons at number 8 have taken Peter Skoronski. I think that he's probably going to be a Raider or a Falcon come next year. I think he's going to go pretty high. But I don't think he's a tackle as he played in college. I think he's more of a guard in the NFL. He's the most technically sound offensive lineman, but he doesn't have as much of upside as the other ones do. At number 9, I have the Chicago Bears selecting offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr. from The Ohio State University, and I think he's going to fit in pretty well. I think he's got really high upside paired with he can pair that with absolute ability that he showed in college for Ohio State. Protecting Justin Fields is probably the number one priority going into the draft for them at number 9, assuming they don't trade down. Number 10, I've got the Eagles selecting Bijan Robinson. I think you can argue he is one of the best. You can argue he's the best player in the draft. But teams don't want to take running backs as high. That's why he's not going higher, is because injury problems. But he has not had injury problems, which is why I think he's going to stay higher than most running backs have in recent memory, ever since Saquon Barkley was drafted at number 2 overall to the New York Giants. At number 10, or at 11, I have the Tennessee Titans selecting Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky. I think he's probably one of the worst I don't understand really why the hype around him is. I understand he has his release, but his mechanics are quite honestly not good. He has potential, but I just don't see him panning out very well. I could see him falling out of the first round, honestly, but I don't think he will. At the second Texans first round pick at number 12, I have Jackson Smith-Njigba going to the Texans. If I were the Texans, to pair him with C.J. Stroud at 2, but I think that they're probably going to go Will Anderson too instead, because the odds are in a massive favor of Will Anderson. And I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be an instant impact player for the Texans at a weak spot for their team right now. I think he's slide in automatically at the number 1 wide receiver for them as soon as he gets drafted, which is not ideal, but he's just going to be the best that they have. At number 13, I have the New York Jets selecting Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle from Georgia. He has probably the biggest boom or bust offensive lineman in this draft. Jets need offensive line help to help with hopefully Aaron Rodgers. We don't know that for sure yet, but we have to assume, as that's where Rodgers wants to play. The Patriots, I have them selecting Devin Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois. I think this is a perfect fit. That they need help. They need another corner, I think. He's a lot like I think Stephon Gilmore is his I guess comparison for me. I think he's like him. He might play nickel more, but he's a very good corner. He might play outside, I'm not sure. Packers, I have them selecting Dalton Kincaid over Michael Mayer because I don't think it's the right decision, but the Packers need pass catchers, and that is exactly what Dalton Kincaid is. The Steelers at number 17 are taking Darnell Wright, the offensive tackle from Tennessee. I think this is probably a perfect spot for him, is around the 17 to 20 range. He could go higher too, but I think he's He's a very good offensive tackle. He was very good against Will Anderson when they played against Alabama last year, and that incredible upset that Tennessee had. I had the Buccaneers selecting Osiris Torrance at number 19 overall. I think that he fits really well, coming from Florida to Florida in Tampa Bay. I think this is going to be a good pick for them. I think they need to build their offensive line before they can do anything about quarterback as of yet. Have the Seattle Seahawks taking Nolan Smith, edge rusher from Georgia. I think that pairing him with Jalen Carter could make some sense here, as they both have some really good abilities. I think that they both are good at stopping the run. I think that Nolan Smith might be more of an outside linebacker than an edge rusher. He might play some edge, like maybe some blitzing outside linebacker, but we'll see. He's an interesting player. We don't know very much about as far as his positional, where he's going to play positionally. Have the Chargers at number 21 selecting Zay Flowers from Boston College. I think he's the fastest, most electric wide receiver in this draft. I think he's going to be pretty good. The Chargers need speed, as they have pretty much everything else but it at wide receiver right now. I have the Ravens selecting Ravens selecting Miles Murphy, an edge rusher from Clemson. He was going to go a lot higher until some teams changed their minds about him, and his mid-mock to go a little bit lower as his stock has fallen a little bit. I have the Vikings selecting Quentin Johnston, wide receiver from TCU. Same with him. He was supposed to go in the top 15, and now he's not even in the top 20. I think the Vikings, he fits pretty well with the Vikings. He can fill the void that was lost with Adam Thielen. I think that he has upside, he has downside as well. I have the Jaguars selecting Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State. He's a very good athlete. I think Jaguars need corner help, and he is exactly that. Lucas Van Ness, an edge rusher from Iowa, who didn't even start last year. Shout out to Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. But I think he's going to the Giants. Giants need help. I mean, I think he's going to help them out. I think they need help on the defensive side of the football, and I think he's going to bring it to them. Have the Dallas Cowboys filling the need that was lost in free agency of Dalton Schultz with Michael Mayer. I don't think he falls anywhere out of the first round. He could fall a little bit to the second part of the first round, but I think he's definitely the best tight end. He's a good blocker. He does it all. Honestly, I can't tell anything much more than that. Have the Bills selecting Trenton Simpson, outside linebacker from Clemson, who he can play as an edge, he can play as an outside linebacker, play inside linebacker. He is very versatile. He's going to fit probably what Tremaine Edmonds is now gone, but I think he'll fill in that need pretty well for them. At number 28, I have the Bengals selecting Brian Branch, defensive back from Alabama. I think the Saints need a safety. I think he can play safety and nickel corner. I think he'll probably play safety in the NFL. But I think that he's going to fill that need of Jesse Bates going to the Falcons. I have the Saints selecting another tight end, Darnell Washington. I think that the Saints need a tight end. I think they're going to draft him in the first round. And I think that he is going to he's a very good blocker. I think the Saints need a tight end, help out with their new quarterback in Derek Carr. Have the Eagles at 31, Super Bowl runner-ups, probably the worst pick you can have in the draft. Honestly, if you don't win the Super Bowl, or actually 30th overall, because the Dolphins forfeited their pick. Kalijah Kancey, 3-tech defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. He's a little undersized, but he's explosive. He's gonna be. I think he fits pretty well with what the Eagles need at 3-tech after losing Javon Hargrave. Have the Chiefs at the last pick in the first round, selecting wide receiver from USC. No, I did not forget him, Jordan Addison. I think he's a very good player, and I think the Chiefs they're licking their chops that he fell this far. He's just a great player, and yeah, they would not pass up this opportunity. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.